Hi, welcome to our channel. We are again meeting in a weekly outlook video and we'll be talking about Nifty and Bank Nifty in great detail today. We are making this weekly outlook after a very long time. There were certain events that kept us busy, and one of the fruitful thing that has happened so far is I've completed my SEBI registration, and I'm now a SEBI certified research analyst. So that kept me a little busy. I was studying after a very long time for an exam, but that ended well. So we'll come back to our weekly outlook considering Nifty and Bank Nifty. So let's see. Now, this is again how we had started and how we had seen. This was October, September end. October we started. It started a fall. Then we said, there are certain movements that have happened in between. Then we call it. Then we saw a zigzag. Then we saw a triangle and a lot of things. But now I would like to pause a bit, and from a daily or a 75-minute time frame, I want to go back again to our weekly analysis. We had started this same a couple of months back. The discussion that we had started was pretty much the same, and we were talking about a degree completion. So if you recall this, we were calling this as 1, we called this as 2. This is degree after COVID is complete. And we started our discussion or started this weekly series by saying that this is wave 3. I mean, this is the top, right? Hope you recall. There are so many logical reasoning and so many reasons to believe why this was 3, and we were actually headed to a 3 to 4 degree fall. Now, if you recall this again, this was supposed to be similar in terms of percentage, somewhere around 20%. So that's what we had expected, that it could come to somewhere here, right? Say 19 or a 20%, whatever we talk. We also had seen a trend line with couple of touch points, which was working very well. And this is what basically has, this is what is the price is adhering. This trend line is being adhered in a very perfect manner. Now, we were sure that this was a degree fall, and we had started seeing this thing in detail as well accordingly, right? So this was weekly. Let's come back to daily. And when we started analyzing certain things, we could see that there were things that would basically make sense uh, in a great detail, right? So this is Nifty. Then again, let's go back to Bank Nifty. We'll recall, just take it on the same page. I'm removing all the markings. I will start it again. Similar thing we had seen for Bank Nifty as well. I'm sorry. We'll go back again to weekly. This is what similar thing we had seen here. This was 1, 2, and this was again 3. So Bank Nifty also had this degree. I'll zoom in a bit. This was 2 for Bank Nifty. Again, a very similar move, and this was 3, right? And from there we started the counts again. Now let's start with Bank Nifty today, because we are here in Bank Nifty in the chart, and then we'll come back to Nifty. Now when I see this on a daily chart, we had seen a lot of movements. We had earlier we were calling uh, this as ABC. None of the counts that we did were wrong technically, but we were looking this in very much confined kind of space. We were looking at we're looking at about 10 to 12 days, 15 days, 20 days timeline, zoomed in at 75 degrees. So this is what we had seen. Then we saw again, this is A, this is making B, and this is going to make C, right? So this is how it was actually adhering also, right? Now, but there are certain events, and when we started looking at it again, revisited it on a weekly and on a daily basis, we see a pattern. We see something that is very, very prominent here, something that is formed in wave 4 in Bank Nifty. We can see that, and we'll see and explore how that is making sense at the moment. Okay, so when we started correction counts, we said okay, from this high, when I put a retracement, this is touched 127%. So maybe I should start counting my correction from here. And that's where we were counting this. We were starting to count from A, B, and C from this point. Okay. Now let's pause a bit and try to see a structure there. Let's see what we can see. Okay. Here, when we see a fall, we are generally seeing it in this nature. Again here, when there is an impulse or supposedly an impulse, we are seeing this again in this nature. We already saw from here, we could see this is again in ABC nature, three moves nature. This part also is in three move nature. So all of this that we are seeing from this top, which is in July, which was in July, we are seeing everything in three moves nature, right? Now, this is something that drives us to consider a possibility, and we'll see how perfectly that fits in to see that this is actually making a triangle. Now, we had seen a lot of triangles already in both the indices, but I'll show you why it makes sense, right? So just hold on a bit. So this is like a contracting triangle that we can see in Bank Nifty on a daily time frame, and this is actually making the most sense at the moment. Why? Firstly, because we know that this is wave 4 and triangles are formed or they are seen only in two places. That is either you will see it in fourth wave or you will see in B. And we had seen one triangle here. We had marked the triangle here, right? So this is making sense, and this is also kind of explaining why there was a fall from 127%. So when we were here, we were actually basically treating this as 1 2 3 4 5. This was our 1, this was our 2. Were calling it as 3. We were expecting this to be 4 and then probably a 5, a move ahead of that. But it was this point where there was a big gap down. That's where we decided or we concluded that this is no more impulse. This is not moving exactly in that way. So we had sort of kept it aside, and we had also thought that okay, probably this is where the top is, and we'll start counting the correction from here. Now, the reason or the explanation to this could be that the target for B, when we are looking at a triangle, can have a very big, I mean, it can go beyond 111% also, which is generally the max range of flat correction wala B. So this B in triangle can go very well beyond 111%. And however, calling this B or calling this triangle at this point in time probably was very premature, and probably it's generally a triangle is seen after it is completely formed. You can't really catch triangle when it is in the making. So when you see a B, this was not something easy to find out or something easy to conclude that okay, this is a triangle. It's only when this fall that we saw last week, in the last week of December, basically, it is when this particular move did not break the previous high, it's when it started looking like a triangle, and that's where the first time we concluded that this is probably making a triangle. Now, what is lying ahead in Bank Nifty for us? We have sorry, I also have a very bad throat for a few days, so pardon me for that. Now, what is lying ahead? So now if we see what 22 bars for A, then we had 36 bars. A actually is getting over here. 28 bars for A, roughly 28 bars for B, 30 bars. C has taken about the same. Now, when we are in a triangle, we generally, start to get uh, lesser. I mean, the moves start to take lesser and lesser time as we are approaching the end. So that is what is looking like happening. It is again, it has taken about 17 bars. Now there is one more uh, case that there is possibility that your E can lead to this trend line, or it can before reversing. So this is where we are at. We may see a low which can touch this trend line, but from here this will mark the end of wave 4. Why we are saying this? Because usually in any correction, triangle is the last move. After the triangle, the impulse has to start. So whenever this E gets completed, it could be complete here, or it could probably make a low and get touch this trend line, and then probably from here it could go back. So this can happen in this week or maybe in the coming week. And from here, we could say that the long correction that we were seeing from a very long time is about to get over. Now, we'll need to see, wait and watch and see what exactly happens with the prices in the individual stocks of Bank Nifty. But there could be a very strong chance that we can actually see a very good up move, an impulse to see a trend reversal, and we can see a very big move to make 5. Now, what could be the target of wave 5? Again, it will be a larger target than the usual impulse, because if you see the minimum target for wave 5, 127, it's already reached here. So not that it will stop only here, it can go very well beyond that. More on that we'll cover when we actually see the impulse starting. So for the coming week, again, we may have a slight low. Probably the price will touch again to 50,200, 50,300, somewhere that range, and from here it could probably end the whole correction, and it will start to move in the positive direction. Positive in the sense in the upward direction. So this was Bank Nifty. Let's see if there is anything in 75 minutes. Now here also we could see two moves so far. There could be a third move that's pending. This is A, this is B. There could be a C that is getting formed somewhere here. So this is a possibility. Now we'll wait and see for the next week what is expected to happen. Now we'll go back and see how Nifty is looking like, and is there anything similar that we saw in Bank Nifty? Let's find out. Well, again, Nifty, when we saw, it was also going to make wave 4, and how it started its journey again was it was a very big zigzag from here. But we'll go back and see whether similar to what we had seen in Bank Nifty, are we seeing something similar here? Here it is not really looking like a triangle so far. Now, if we call this as say a move, it is not looking like a triangle. There is no contracting or an expanding nature, and it is very much behaving like what we had seen in the earlier sessions also. Now, when we zoom in again on a daily level, we are seeing a very sharp zigzag, then a B is getting formed, and then probably we are heading towards another down move going forward. So 75 minutes, let's go back again. Now, this we had seen in the last session, or the last video that we had seen, that this is probably making an A and this is probably making a B here. So again, I'm sort of reading it the same way. It could make the same fall from here to here, and it could basically continue to have its journey downwards. Now, this is a possibility that this we have already reached B with respect to our time. Now, if it does, it definitely fulfills the criteria. 99 bars. This was somewhere around 60 bars or so. So this is probably why. And when we see a retracement from here or an extension from here, we could lead to C, which can make a uh, which can mark the B of the whole process. So this could be our A, won't be W anymore. We'll change this. This could be our A, and when this C gets formed, we will have our B somewhere. It could be 100%, or it could be even further down. Sorry, it could be further up. 161 is the 61 to 161 is the usual range. So we may continue to see the same move in Nifty. So A is complete. We probably would see B, and then probably the price can continue downwards. Now, this was about Nifty, but however, Nifty will read it in much detail in the next week. So there are certain things, certain events, certain times. Maybe Wednesday is when we'll get conclusion or kind of a confirmation regarding something. So we'll recount Nifty in much more detail in the coming week. But till then, I'm not changing my counts. I'm not really expecting a very big moves here in Nifty, but currently not changing the counts, letting it be the same. So next week, but Nifty we are going to count in much detail. We'll consider all the possibilities, we'll see all the time frames. Currently this is what Nifty is looking like. So this was about it, and we'll come back to our weekly and daily video schedules, and we'll try to adhere to that. I think it could be easier. Last month entirely, I would say, was so much of events, so many events were happening, so many things kept us away from making videos and stuff. But we'll be back. So another video we are making on the sectoral indices, which the part one we had started in November, and we are doing it like a monthly revisit to the whole sectoral indices to see which sectors could look attractive for current immediate investment for a short term period, and are there any opportunities that we could see. So stay tuned, and I hope you like the content. Do like, do share the content, and do subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.